Hey guys, in this video I just wanted to talk about some cards that are pretty cheap right now that I recommend you purchase for your collection. And I mean, not all these are kind of cheap. I just picked up like a bunch of random cards and I'm just gonna go through them and just like say, you know, I recommend this one for the price. I think it's pretty good. And then yeah, um, I just wanted to start this video by saying that I know that I haven't uploaded a set review video in a while, but I am really trying to just go for daily uploads right now. Um, yeah, and I'm just trying to enjoy it, just trying to make something new every time. So I hope you're totally cool with that. Um, but yeah, this is either for the artwork or just for how undervalued I think the card is. But yeah, I just wanted to start off with the Zekrom Trainer Gallery card from Brilliant Stars. This card is one of the coolest Trainer Gallery cards I think we've ever received, just for like one of those regular print ones. And I think this is like the most expensive like regular Trainer Gallery card in this set, and for good reason. It's a really beautiful card illustrated by Akira Gawa. It features N, very popular trainer, and Zekrom, which is a legendary Pokemon. And like the card looks really gorgeous. I really like the clouds in the background with the deep sky, and Zekrom just looks really cool in the card. And I think that this card is just a little undervalued for what it is. It's just a gorgeous illustration of Zekrom. You don't really see this Pokemon like with these kind of cool illustrations, and I'm pretty sure it's the only Zekrom card we received in the Sword and Shield era that's not just like a regular uncommon or like a rare or hollow or something. So yeah, I would definitely look out for this one, especially if Zekrom gets printed in a later set, because this card might see a little bit of an uptick. And I'm not really a huge person on like prices or anything like that, but just for this video, I just wanted to say like some cards that are maybe a little bit undervalued that I think would be recommended to pick up. And later on in this list, it's going to get a little bit more expensive. But here's this Rayquaza Vmax from Crown Zenith. The regular Rayquaza Vmax from Evolving Skies is like $4, so I didn't put it on this list just because I felt like it was a little bit overpriced. But for this card, you're really getting kind of like the same thing. It's just like a big version of Rayquaza, and Rayquaza is a very popular Pokemon. The VMAX cards from Crown Zenith aren't like the easiest to pull, so yeah, this card it is cool. It's just a cool Pokemon. It's a cool card. It's a cool artwork. I mean, it is a 5-band graphics card. I don't know if you really care for this 3D cards, but for Rayquaza, I think it works because his body kind of lends itself to being in that like 3D environment. And next we have this Jolteon, also from the Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery. I think that out of the three, this one is probably my favorite one. It's only $2 for an Evolution Gen 1 heavy. I know people really love Gen 1. People love the Evolutions, and this card I feel like is just a little bit undervalued, especially because of how really just like cool it is. Also, when I said that Zekrom is probably the most expensive one, I totally lied. It's definitely the Evolutions. But yeah, I really like this card a lot. I like how it's Gary, I believe, is in the card, and the Jolteon just looks really nice with like the electricity volting off of it. This one is done by Dom, a really nice card by them. And then this Excadrill from Temporal Forces, the newest set. Excadrill, I don't know if I would say that he's like a fan favorite Pokemon, but this artwork is super nice. I like how many different Excadrills there are. I like all the miners feeding him food, and he looks very happy. This one's by Saboteri, who's a relatively new artist. But yeah, they did this Pokemon right, and I think that this card is pretty well liked in terms of Temporal Forces. It's only a $2 card. Like for $2, I really can't complain about that, and I would happily have it in my collection. And then the Graphi illustration rare. I don't know why this one's listed for $7, but this card is like about $3. This one's done by Oswaldo Cato, who is a really great artist who's done some alt arts in the past. This one is just, if you like the Gen 9 Pokemon, if you like Graphi, I know I actually kind of like Graphi because like Graphi EX box that came out recently, because it just looks really cool. Um, but this is a really nice rendition of this Pokemon, and I think it looks just really stunning with all those vivid colors, and it's just like very understandable. It's not too bloody messy, but it is very colorful and very lively. Yeah, so I recommend that one. Shadow Rider Calyrex Trainer Gallery from Astral Radiance. This is my favorite Trainer Gallery card from Astral Radiance, I'm pretty sure. I like the Garchomp a lot, but I don't know if it's as good as this one. This one's also by Oswaldo Cato. I don't know if you can tell that I have a bias, but this card is just really colorful. It's really beautiful, like the scenery and the environment. This is personally one of my favorite Trainer Gallery cards of all time, just because of how gorgeous the card looks. I just really love like all the colors, and I'm not really a huge fan of Calyrex as a Pokemon, but I can appreciate the artwork and the time and effort that went into this card. And next is kind of an unconventional pick, but I chose this Dialga EX from Phantom Forces. This card is hovering around $4.30. Dialga is a very popular, very cool legendary from Gen 4, and it's kind of like older EX card. I saw a couple other cards like hovering around like the $5-ish area for Dialga, but this one is like the oldest one that I found. And for the price, I mean, you're getting a really cool looking EX Pokemon, and if EX Pokemon are your thing, then like by all means, go for it. And it's from a very popular set, Phantom Forces. And yeah, I just really like this card personally. I think it looks really cool. Because I like Dialga a lot, and I'm happy that he got a card for Phantom Forces, and it's just like it looks really nice. So I would pick it up. Um, and then the Arbok from Temporal Forces is another card from Temporal Forces that I really like. 481 for this one, so around $5. And for $5, you're getting yourself a really gorgeous card of Arbok. And I actually talked about this card in one of my other videos because I was talking about the artist, Okubo. Um, but yeah, this card is just really beautiful. It's awesome in hand. It just looks really nice, and the colors are all there. It's just really gorgeous. And then next is my favorite card from Scarlet and Violet base set, I'm pretty sure, the Armour Rouge Art Rare. Um, Armour Rouge is a Pokemon that immediately gravitated towards. I didn't really take a liking to Ceruledgel too much, but Armour Rouge really caught my attention, and I'm really happy that they're giving him a lot of love in the Scarlet and Violet era. I thought they would give Ceruledgel more love because he's more like the popular, edgy, cool Pokemon, but Armour Rouge really deserves it. I mean, like, he just has it all. Like he's just really cool looking. He's got a really nice environment. This one's by Nagimiso, who is a really talented artist, and they have a lot of cards that you've probably seen before. But this Armorage is really, really nice, and I actually quite like it. Good reason why it's $5.38, but for $5, I mean, you really can't beat it. And then the Zacian from Astro Radiance, another card from Astro Radiance I really like. This one is by Aoki. Um, this card is really nice. It showcases Hop and Zacian, and people love Zacian. Zacian's a cool Pokemon, a cool Gen 8 legendary, probably the best one, most popular at least. And this card just really encapsulates like a really nice vibe, and I don't know, I just really like it. And then I chose the Yveltal from Paradox Rift, the art rare. Yveltal doesn't really have a lot of really cool cards, so it's nice that he got a super cool card in Paradox Rift, and this art rare is really gorgeous. It really reminds me of the Galarian Moltres from Chilling Reign, but this card is like a mere fraction of the price. The Galarian Moltres is like $130 and this one's $6. I mean, I think we're kind of getting to a little bit more pricey, so I would understand if you didn't want to pick up a card like this, but I don't know. I feel like this thing could sit in your binder for years and you would still love it because it's like it's a popular Pokemon. It's a legendary. It's Yveltal. Yveltal's cool, and I don't know. This artwork is just really nice. Those like clouds and the swirls of color and the flowers, they all look really nice. And then my next card on here is a Tinglu EX Alt Art from Paldea Evolved. This card's sitting around $6.60, which I'm kind of surprised about because the card is an alt art. It looks really nice, and like I don't know, there's just a lot of these alt arts from Scarlet and Violet that are severely undervalued in my opinion. Um, that I feel like will only do well in the future because people might like the Treasures of Ruin, and I feel like Tinglu is a good Pokemon. Like, he looks pretty cool, maybe a little bit goofy, but this card does him well. I like the sun rays and like the cracks in the ground, earthquakes and stuff like that with the canyons. And then this one is also it's done by Keiichiro Ito, who did the Moonbryon. Uh, so that's something. But this card, I just think it looks really nice, and is another legendary Pokemon that I think should be valued a little bit more. And then next is this Curum full art from Ancient Origins. This card is like one of my favorite cards ever created for a Curum at least. Curum is a Pokemon who is another Pokemon from Gen 5 who's a legendary, pretty popular. Not as popular as like Zekrom probably, but Curum is cool. He's got a cool card in this set, and this one is done by Ryo Ueda, who does a lot of other like full art kind of Pokemon cards, and theirs are always so like filled with energy, I guess. This one is really cool. It looks like he's like looking into the distance with like the background is like all cosmic and like starry and icy and glaciery. And he has a nice yellow outline around him, which I think really adds to the card. And I just like the pose that he's in. And for $10, that's not a bad price, especially since Ancient Origins came out in like 2016. That's like you're looking at like an 8-year-old card that's only $10. Like I mean, a card like this can only really see an incline in the future, especially if they do release like some kind of special illustration or all art Curum or something like that. This card can only do better in the future. And then my final card that I have on here is the Pod from Paradox Rift. Now, the only reason that I put this one on the last is because it is the most expensive. It's a $13 card, but I don't know, man. I really like Golisopod a lot, and I feel like this card really did him justice. I was actually kind of surprised to see that this is one of the cheaper alt arts in Paradox Rift. I think the cheapest one is the Sandy Shocks alt art, but this one has like fantastic artwork. This artist Oku does a fantastic job with all the other cards that they do. I guess I should include this one too. The Caesar um from City in Flames, done by the same artist. It's $3. This card is beautiful. This one in the Golisopod, done by the same artist. I mean, and it also the Golisopod also has another card that connects to it. So you're gonna get both of them, and the Wimpod is only like $3. So for 16 bucks, you're getting a full evolution line of a Pokemon from Gen 7 that I think is like not the most beloved Pokemon ever, but it's like it's a cool Pokemon. I feel like Golisopod is a pretty dope looking Pokemon. He's got a cool design and he's like kind of underrated. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. And honestly, a lot of these other art rares from Paradox Rift are really gorgeous too. Like even for like the cheaper ones, you could pick up like even Garchomp is only like a $17 card. If you really love Garchomp, that's your sign, man. Like that's like you're investing $20 into a card that you're gonna have in your collection forever. And you don't even have to get the all art. You could just get the full art Garchomp. I have this one in my collection. It's $5. It's a cool looking Garchomp card. He has a silly little hat on, but I mean, at that point, I don't even care. I just like the artwork. I like the vibe, and the Terra cards in person look really nice, actually. Even though they look silly on the hats and stuff like that, the texture on them is really, really good. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend it, for sure. And just a lot of these other art rares and stuff like that from Paradox Rift are just really nice. And you could even talk about the full art trainers and stuff like that. You could keep going and going, and there's just many, many cards in this set specifically that I think will not only do well in the future, but also just look good in the collection. Like for this Pokemon, the Cofagrigus EX, it's an illustrated card, which is always a plus when it comes to an EX. It's only 65 cents. And for 65 cents, you're really getting just like this really cool looking EX Pokemon of a Pokemon that doesn't really get a lot of love, like Cofagrigus. If you'll look for it, you'll find it. Even in these like regular art EXs, if you find one that you really like, just go for it and get it. And I think that's my recommendation to anybody is just if you love a Pokemon, just look at all the cards, try to find the cheapest one, and just kind of go from there. And you can find some cards that you'll really love. Um, but yeah, that was my video. It's just a little small video about like what cards I think you should pick up. For their price. And they obviously, at this point, when they're getting to like the $5 range, I obviously understand if like me might not like want to get them. And that's totally fine. But it's just a silly little video that I came up with. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.